Welcome back, guys. In this video, I'm going to discuss a very important and very interesting feature that is critical for everyone, especially if we are not working with the organization, or if we are building something which is personal to us or our own learning, or even if we are doing some sort of project. So obviously we are very conscious about the costing. So I'm going to actually share a couple of tips that you can use to control the cost, because sometimes we are extremely busy with our day-to-day life that we totally ignore, and that's where the alerting and the indicators from AWS help us to ensure the costing or the budgeting we have set it up has been intacted by our rules, right? So first of all, let's go and look at the billing, because billing is the most important part. Obviously, AWS providing some of the services for free of cost, but obviously the other services, or if you want to enhance the functionality or improve the resources, that's gonna cost you. But the beauty is you can define the budget that you want to use every month, and then you can set up the alerts which will help you be reminded over the time if you are if you are reaching closer to the budget, or the forecasting is predicting that you are going to be above your budget. I'm going to show you in the AWS console how we can do it. So if you want to open the billing, normally one of the great thing that I've seen, that now AWS has placed the billing tile on your main dashboard, so you can literally, you don't need to go anywhere. You can keep seeing your spending every day if you come to the console. But like I mentioned in the previous video, most of the time our work is on the command shell level, or we hardly use console in its full way. So in those scenario, if we have an automated alert system that can help remind us that, okay, our spending is going to be above the allocated budget, that would be very helpful, right? So you can see in here I have the cost and usage tile. You can see it is placed in my dashboard, and you can see my forecast, or my current month cost is way above the budget that I have set. So I'm going to actually show you later on, but you can see up 52% over last month. So last month my spending was $9.29, but this time, and this is US dollar currency. So if you are outside of US, so you have to convert it into your local currency, right? But you can see another beautiful thing, that AWS is telling you that your usage in this month is comparatively high from the last month. Now if you want to see more details, what we're going to do, we're just going to go into the billing dashboard or billing area. So you can see, as soon as I type billing, I can see the billing service in here. So let's click on it. And now I'm on my billing summary dashboard. It has so many screens available to see the billing information, but you can see we have trends in here, which is showing the cost by the service. And the beauty is you can see which service is costing us a lot by looking at the trend. So you can see from June to all the way to July. I can see the VPC cloud service which I have used. The usage it has increased, and obviously I have seen the increase in the quick side. I have increased in the relational database side, and by highlighting it, you can see that it is also showing me the cost. So it's not only showing the line, it is also showing you the cost, that how much increase has been happened over the time. And obviously obviously, like you can see, I have set up this account or configured this account back in June. So that's why the report is coming from June. But obviously, in your case, if you are using AWS for a long time or you have just started it, so that's going to be a different graph. All right. So let me come and show you the budget. So billing, I think billing is pretty fancy in here. Like we can see all the main matrices. So like you can see the trend is coming like 19% to per month, because my usage now showing on the VPC. So you can see from VPC perspective. So on the main dashboard, I have seen the usage overall, like the overall my usage or my cost increased from last month to this month to 52%. Out of that usage costs, you can see virtual private cloud, that cost has been increased 19%. So you can see per month for the same period it was 6.20, but this month it was 7.38. And there is a reason. We're gonna see why my cost has been increased once we set up the VPC. Okay, so now what I'm going to do, let me come in here. So you can see the budget. Let me just click on the budget. So you can set up your budget. So budget is more like how much you want to spend in your AWS, right? And you can see my threshold is already exceeded. So it is already red, which is an indicator that my budget has been crossed the threshold or crossed the value that I configured initially, right? So how are we going to actually create? Let me first show you the existing budget, right? So you can see my budget was $15. So that was the budget I've configured, and you can see by the name, and always give a useful name so you can later on, once you come in, you can see the meaningful information. So you can see by looking at it, I immediately know, okay, there was my monthly spending that I actually allocated for AWS, which is obviously $15. And I've already consumed the amount of 13.30 by now. So that means, and the month hasn't finished yet, right? So my month maybe is finishing, who knows, maybe another week. So you can see the forecast amount is 14.4, right? So you can, and I think that's what I need to see that. Sorry, I'm not over my budget. So, but I've reached the threshold. Let me go inside and see why it is showing the exceeded. Yeah, see, the actual cost has been greater than 80%. So that's maybe it's going to be increased, or there is a suspicion based on my usage that that's going to cross the budget. So let me come inside. Let me show you, right? So you can see I'm reaching $14, and the costing is almost predicted to reach to $16, which is obviously above my budget, right? And I can see in here, yeah, so month to date, August. So I can see that my budget is going to, I do believe, going to cross the allocated amount before the end of this month. So that's where the whole thing is going in right now. Coming in here, let me quickly edit and let me show you. Not in this one. Where is my, yeah. So you can see I have actually once I create it, so we're gonna create another budget reminder for us, but let me show you the existing one. So I've just selected this budget for monthly amount, right? So that's why I'm calling it monthly budget, and it's going to be recurring budget. And what is recurring budget? It's going to be renewed automatically at the start of the next month. So you don't need to go and allocate another $15 every month. Once your month has finished, it's going to actually renew your budget. So you're going to have another $15 in your account that you can spend in the next month. And you can see the starting month was August 2022. The budget amount was fixed, which is obviously $15. and budget scope is to cover all the AWS services. So that's a very handy feature. Like you can even reduce it to particular service. So you can literally divide your budget towards different services. Like you can allocate some budget to analytical services. You can allocate some budget to development or integration, and you can and I'm talking about in terms of services, and you can allocate some budget to your infrastructure to cover that cost, right? And then you can define the threshold based on those budgets, that okay, what amount I'm going to allocate and which consumption I should get the notification. All right. So the last one is that's the advanced option, aggregate cost by unlabeled cost. So all those costs which are not going to be labeled out of from the service perspective, they are going to be appear in lump sum. So that should be all right. So let me just click next. And now that's the most important one. So you can see I'm setting up the threshold that, okay, if I reach to the 80% of my budget amount, it's let me inform about my consumption. So that's where I'm going to start getting the notification, and you can see I can put the email. So I put a couple of email addresses where I can get the notification that, okay, I'm exceeding my or I'm reaching the threshold that I've already defined, right? And obviously, if I'm going to go over that amount, then that means I'm exceeding my budget, right? So that's where you are seeing that threshold in the start, right? And obviously, I'm triggering it on the actual consumption, not the forecast, because there's a difference between actual and the forecast. In actual consumption, once I consume that amount, or once I use that amount that I've allocated to my AWS, then I will start getting the notification. But in the forecasting, it starts sending you an email before you reach to that amount. So for example, you have a particular usage pattern, and at some point the AWS budgeting, it start identifying that, okay, you're gonna reach to the 80%. From that point, it's going to send you the notification. So there is a difference. So that's a very handy feature that you can use to control your spending and put some automation which really help you to control the cost. And sometimes we are so busy in those times, these notification and these alerts are very handy for us to look. And if we want to remove, and it happened many times, one of the use case that we create some service, and many times it happened we forgot to either stop that service because we are not using, and we created some group or something in the cloud environment, and we forgot to either switch off or remove. Remember one thing, in AWS or in Azure or in Google Cloud, everything costs you fortune. So you have to be very mindful about utilizing and starting and stopping any artifact or any services provided by the cloud, right? Because if you forget, and if the service start costing you a handsome amount, you're gonna have a very good bill at the end. And I have seen some of these services which are not being used by the organization, but they cost them even more than 50 grand a year, which is not obviously a very good use of company's budget. So that's all about the budgeting. Hopefully it will be helpful for you to understand how the budgeting work. So that's all about the budgeting. If you have any question, please put your comments. More than happy to answer. Otherwise, I'm gonna see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.